Greetings, ladies and gents. Don't mind the change of place we're in now, and don't mind the blood as well. It's just cool makeup my friend did. I really wanted to talk about something that was quite important in this video, and that is SIGNALIS. It's a very nice game, fond memories, and times of time it that has nothing to do with me. I'm back here again. As I was saying, I think I'm saying right. Okay. Ladies and gents, once more, I wanted to speak about a certain game that was recommended to me. The words of a certain stranger in the middle of the desert saying, you know, your video was shit, but I'll throw you a bone. It's a game called... If you like this, I'm pretty damn sure you would enjoy this. And I was like, dang, dark and depressing, check. Eerie and mystery story, check. Overwhelmingly positive, check. More depressing shit, you bet your sweet ass. Tall robot women, yes! And I was invested. And one of the biggest thank yous from this butterfly effect from the absolute giga chat of a man in the desert. I thank this man so much, and I tip my hat to you for bringing this to my attention. Now, there was two things that was immediately hinted towards me. That this game is in fact cruel and... yeah, so I shrugged it off. Yeah. How about the... So that's you, by the way. And we're on the ship, on a planet that we don't know, to find a woman that we barely know, that is our pilot. Now, I have a lot of questions. What the fuck is going on? And that will be simply answered. Right then and there is a giant red crater. How would it get there? We don't know. And now that is exactly where we stop. This is your first warning. This is a game that I highly advise that you need to experience. So you have been warned, and in the nicest way possible, I have made two videos just for you to not click on this video specifically. Now, I'm telling you in the nicest way, humblest way, nicest, cleanest way possible. Fuck off. And play the game and then come back to me into this video. But aside from that, if you have or haven't played the game, I'm angry that you stuck around. So, let's just jump into the giant red hole. And this leads to us another hole into a strange room. I'm looking for my pilot, and her name is Elena. And I'm getting the frick off this planet. Easy. That's the entire story. But I thought it was smooth as butter, said past Crazy. I thought it would be this simple. Oh, little Crazy, you don't realize the rabbit hole. Welcome to SIGNALIS. Please enjoy your stay. So it's already clear to us the main story is about finding where and who, what, when, why, and how in these situations, and why we crash landed in the girl in the photo, the crater, the hellish episodes, and my favorite, red TV. So don't worry, we'll eventually get to the story, gameplay, blah blah blah, all the stuff, you know, who, what, when, why, how, everything. Okay, but now, I must give credit to where credit is due. The pixel horror and the transitions to first person and third person view is beautifully executed. It feels and interacts gloriously to the atmosphere and the themes. It is great to the blood red themes and this dictatorship propaganda regime, and simply a lot of propaganda and heavy Eastern influences. And yes, there is a lot of dead bodies. Elevator's out of order. Yeah, you're not gonna mention the dead bodies? No? No, you just care that it's out of order? Yeah, yeah, honestly. But now, we're getting ahead of ourselves. This isn't Resident Evil. Well, it kinda is. But one giant problem about this game is that inventory. It is a blessing and a curse throughout the entire game. You have to deal with stronger enemies such as Pinocchio, UK residents, But like I said, inventory, and that's the problem. You have 6 slots. 6 slots is all you have. Ammo takes a slot. Guns take a slot, healing takes a slot, and the will to live takes a slot. Look, let me be clear. SIGNALIS, I really love you. It's lovely that we're here. But goddamn, where's the inventory slots? Every time I pick up a weapon, you just don't want me to pick up healing, ammo, objectives. Oh my god, don't even get me started on the damn. That was my only bad thing about this mastercraft. But before we hit the meat and potatoes, the choice and the theme and the music, oh, it is phenomenal. It is very easy to identify the feeling of this world. We follow heavy restrictions and propaganda, a totalitarian regime with a heavy Eastern influences, and again, depression. Like, good. I loved how the story is told. It's like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, a little bit of Dead Space, slap it all in one spice of depression, make it a season of Evangelion, and you got yourself a fine piece right here. And the music, oh, I must share. Please, ladies and gents, please have a listen. Now, this is the second fat spoiler. The second and final spoiler. For you to come this far, I am angry at you. But like I said, if you played or haven't played the game, this is the final warning. Who gives a crap? Anyways, I'm going to say it now. So, we really need to talk about the story. So this is the tricky part. It is up to you to decide such questions. The reason why we hear these abominations, this story is like, who are we? And to that, I say, I do not know. The whole story, I cannot tell you. I don't know, and from the types of us, the Lister units, the replicas, this world doesn't make any sense yet. The dreams, this nightmare, and I will explain everything in theory. In theory, by a hypothesis, what I thought I gathered right now. In my hypothesis, in the span of 10 hours what I've gathered, you are a Lister unit. You have been given an assignment to find your pilot and to know what is going on. You begin to realize that this planet that we crash landed on was a colonized planet that has gone wrong to absolute berserk. In theory. Like phenomenons like these weird abominations and collections of events, bugs and memories and so on. But later on in the story, many things are told and explained. Many of these replicas have been having faults and issues in these memories and having different timeline errors and loops. Hypothetically. Times often going rogue or straight up crazy, and worst case scenarios sometimes turning into manifestations. Hypothetically. Reason being is that there has been a collection of memories and consciousness collected and shared between all of these robot beings, including you, hypothetically. And from what I've gathered, everyone has been getting these errors and these visions and these imaginary timeline errors and these places they're not supposed to be in, and all these manifestations and these fears, anger, hopelessness, false memories, and these people that we've never seen or recognized before. All of them have been collectively shared throughout all of most replicas, which is you. And again, hypothetically. And now we need to explain, who are these women? Again, hypothetically, the girl you've been searching for or been showing up frequently was Ariana Young, and it turns out that she is the reason why you here on the ship, the Penrose. Ariana was the pilot and you were there, the Lister unit / lover, so to speak. Her past life was mostly being bullied at school and living a boring and miserable life. She apparently wanted to join the military efforts as she admired the military to be strong and to be respected as she wanted. And that was the reason why she joined. Later, the Penrose program commenced an expedition for a habitable planet, And that's where Alistair was involved. After spending time alone and isolated from humanity on board the Penrose along Ariana, both of you and her became close and eventually turned to lovers and shared nice and wholesome memories. They eventually grew closer and cherished each other, and they truly did love each other. At times where there were conflicts and regimes and wars happening, it felt peaceful to be at peace. However, cycles passed and the ship began to decay along with everything else on board. As a failure to find a habitable planet, they were told to never return. As they were told, at least you will be remembered and honored for your sacrifices. As the ship began to rot along with the Alistair causing problems and errors more quickly than Ariana did, because, well, she's a replica and she's a robot and she corroded faster. And due to radiations and corrosion of the ship only leading Ariana to survive and slowly dying and developing cancer and radiation poisoning, and ultimately each of them died slowly. And I probably got all of those theories wrong, and again, hypothetically speaking, it was all up to my interpretation. And no, I haven't even scratched the surface of how deep this lore of this game is, nor explain the hundreds of dead bodies of Alistairs and probably you of failed attempts by you in this time loop to find Issa or Ariana. Oh my god, speaking of Issa, your other Ariana version of it, there's a second woman that, she was her, and that's the problem. There are so many conflicts with these theories or problems in this timeline, and there's hundreds of views trying to attempt to scavenge this failed expedition of this Penrose and Evangelion stuff, time loops, and like I said, it is up to you to decide the interpretation of the story. And the endings, well, it doesn't really explain that much as well. It's just icing to the cake, and the cake is right there. After seeing the cake, it's like 4 endings, and I'm still not telling you jack crap because I don't know. I just do not know. And that is SIGNALIS. A giant big package of everything that you sick fucks like, including me, to tie into a story, a promise, a cloud of memories of these lovers, and the lengths and testimonies on which they said characters that would go to is beautifully well crafted. And I believed in my hours of playtime of 10 hours, they really tested no matter where we were or where they are. They would do anything, 100th time, 200 times they would, to be at least happy together once more. They would do anything to the lengths of this earth, the lengths of Alistair and Ariana they would go to just to be happy once more. And that, I think I can safely acknowledge, that was their promise. To be happy once more. One last time. So, but that's just the theory, a game theory, but no, like, actually, yeah, that's SIGNALIS. A giant big package of everything, tied up, characters, theme, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, everything. And again, hypothetically, it's a neat package tied together by one single chat of a man that commented. I am speechless at the end of SIGNALIS when I finished it, and making this video to the end, I am hollow. I feel so hollow inside now, and despite everything and every unsolved mystery of this game, it just enhances it more. And I just know one thing for certain, that in this entire game, that I would believe every single character, that everything they did and the lengths that people would go through just to be happy, and I loved it. The lengths they would go to, it's phenomenally written. The story, the enemies, the characters, the boss fight, everything. It is up there. It is on my list for being like the game. It is short, but it is sweet. But it's very bitter. But you know, it's good. Yeah. I don't know what more I can tell you. Music slaps. Everything slaps. Aside from inventory, but yeah. My rating is a 10 out of 10. I love hearing a German woman telling me German numbers. But yeah, ladies and gents, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. And until I'm out of this hellhole, see you in the next game, or timeline, or whatever that happens. But yeah, anyways, ladies and gents, you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. And I tip my hat to you all. And stay tuned.